Happy Thursday, CoastLife, and this is one of those weeks where I'm just never going to know what day it is. So we're so glad you're joining us for another episode of CoastLife. We're your hosts. I'm Leah Rizzo.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis, and Leah is back after a day off there. So
Yes.
Leah, what did you do with your time?
That's part of the reason why I'm never going to know what day it is this week, but it was really a little staycation. My mom and my sister came down. We shopped and ate and laid on the beach and read books and did all the things that you do when enjoying the Rehoboth Beach area. So lots of fun. Definitely had to pop into the Spice and Tea Exchange. May have bought some of their seasonal teas. Little pro tip for you. One of my favorite things to do with their tea is put a little bit in my coffee for like a little bit of flavor when it brews. So like you put that in the grounds, and then when the hot water goes in, you get a little something extra.
I kind of like that.
It's really nice.
So keep that in mind. It's just yet another reason to go check out those guys
Exactly.
over in Rehoboth. Now let's move into
Yes.
our show for today. And all week long, we've been talking back to school. We're going to continue that trend today, and we're talking to some elementary school teachers, Leah.
Yeah, elementary school, such a magic time for going back to school, because that's where it's still just like, it's the fun stuff, right up until long division.
Right up until long
Right up
division.
until you have to start learning long division. Elementary school is fun. Definitely did some reminiscing too, because a lot of kids going back to school this week. So.
And it was great. We got a chance to talk to a trio of teachers and get their opinions on
Yes.
kind of the best parts about school starting back up, what they're expecting out of their kids, and what parents can expect or how they can maybe help out the best. So let's take a look at that right now.
It's just greeting them at the door. When they're coming in, they're excited, they're bringing their supplies in, they're gonna see who their best friends are here.
I think we're all excited for our kids to come back. That's the best part of our job. It is our why.
It's a fresh start and new kids, and how exciting it is to welcome those kids into our classroom.
You know, as teachers, we always are trying and looking at the latest and greatest fun ways to basically encourage children to learn.
It's just really rewarding. You're like, yes, this is what all the hard work and the teamwork is about.
But there are so many things in here that are so different from last year, but it's also very similar to last year. So it's like little changes here and there.
In second grade, oh my goodness gracious, you're going to learn, obviously we're learning to read, K1, we're gonna build on that foundation of reading. We're doing a lot of the science behind reading, and building thinking classrooms.
Really, I feel like fourth grade is where they become independent and like start to get to know who they are as people.
I have wanted to become a teacher since I was in kindergarten, and I have wanted to be a kindergarten teacher since I was in kindergarten. So this has been a long time coming.
We want them to have fun. We want them to enjoy being in their classroom.
To create a welcoming environment for them, like as soon as they step in the door.
You have no idea what these kids are going to turn into as adults. They could be doctors, lawyers. You are creating all of these different professions within one classroom, and you just never know what the things that you're doing could turn into.
Always an exciting time of year, and I also feel like there's such a distinct smell of back to school. I don't know if it's just like the erasers or like the pencil box that always kept everything in there, that I feel like when you first go back and like the hallways are clean, there's just like, yep, it's back to school time.
Well, I wonder if that's changed at all with everybody being on
Digital, right?
digital
I don't
equipment
know.
and stuff. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. Maybe at the younger kids' ages it hasn't yet.
Could be. I also think too, it's just like, maybe it's just that same seasonal change in the air. Like I felt it outside the other day while I was like getting ready to grill, and it was a little cooler.
Fallish.
Sun was going down a little sooner, and you're just like, there's a pause in everything, and that's just, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. The words are escaping me.
Speaking of a pause in everything, that is what we got this week when the announcement came out that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged. I talked about it yesterday with Rachel a little bit about it. It stopped the news.
Oh, yes, it did.
Everybody in the building, like a number of our people were like, I couldn't finish writing this article for 20 minutes. We were in the deep weeds trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening. But I wanted to ask you, why do you think America specifically, but people at large, care so much about this relationship?
Yeah, I think this is a really interesting sort of case study of celebrities. I think especially the journey of Taylor Swift in particular, because she has been so loved, she has been so hated, all in the public eye, all over the course of her career, and especially when it comes to her love life. So to see everybody like really cheering her on in this moment is kind of interesting to me, but they do say there is a reason that this engagement has really captured a lot of attention here in the US, with many fans feeling a personal connection to their story. Their relationship, which started from a fan encounter that grew into the public romance, is admired for qualities like ambition, authenticity, and respect. Things that I think we don't see a lot of in celebrity relationships because we're not usually that clued into them, I guess. People see their engagement not just as celebrity news, but as a feel-good cultural moment combining music and sports, offering a story of hope and romance that resonates widely.
Well, and I think when you take all of that and combine it with America specifically, we don't have a monarchy here. We don't have
a
kings
royal
and queens.
family.
We don't have a royal family. And I think when you hit the right kind of fame, if both people are famous, if they've got enough goodwill behind them, they almost become de facto aristocracy in the country. And I think that that's sort of what you're seeing here is, Taylor's got such a following. It's almost like, literally the queen,
Sure.
and her relationships become the kind of fodder that you would get if you were, say, in Europe and you had the tabloids following and whatnot. And when you combine that with a little NFL power, really it elevates it to a whole different place. So I think that that is part of it as well. We don't have that here, so we kind of create it.
We did, and I actually do think that like the New Heights podcast episode that had Taylor Swift in it was phenomenal, and I think it really did pull back the curtain on their relationship in a way that we hadn't really seen it before. We're like, yes, there's been an influx. You can't escape Travis and Taylor, and you see them everywhere, and you hear people talking about them everywhere, but we hadn't really heard much from them themselves together, seeing them together, and I think it did have this sort of just genuine authenticity that people like to root for love. People love a good love story.
I think what's interesting, and I think the thing I always come back to with the reason that I think this relationship has gotten so much goodwill towards it, and that can always change.
Oh, sure.
Who knows?
Sure.
I'm not making any kind of predictions for anything other than how people feel right now.
Yeah.
But I would say the fact that he is such a big cheerleader of her success is such a good example to other men across the country, because she is uber successful, arguably the most successful of anybody in the world right now. Depending on what kind of metrics you want to use to create that. And he couldn't be not only happier about it, but clearly impressed by it in a way that isn't threatening at all to him. He celebrates it.
Yeah, and I think that's so good to see. I think that's so refreshing to see. I think it's so good for, just as many young women and young girls that look up to somebody like Taylor Swift and her ambition, her business model, however many ways you want to look up to somebody like a celebrity. All those young boys that are watching somebody like Travis Kelce treat his woman very publicly is good. It's refreshing. It's nice to see, at least in this moment, like you said, that, for now, it's pretty good. I also love that their dad, Ed Kelce, has been the one spilling all the tea about, when it happened, how it happened. He's like, oh yeah, they've been engaged for like 2 weeks, happened out back. I was like, that's awesome. I love that he's invested too.
There's some people you just can't put the muzzle on.
Yes, exactly. But it is kind of interesting that this one really did stop everybody in their tracks.
It almost broke the internet.
I know. But of course, we've got a show to get to. I don't know that we'll be breaking the internet anytime soon, but let's see what's coming up on CoastLife.
Well, we were just talking about Travis Kelce. You might be trying to draft him on your team. We've got some fantasy football conversations to have.
And when was the last time you had a bowl of cereal? Yeah, you familiar with all those mascots, all the different types of cereal? Well, we're going to be quizzing you a little bit later on as well.
That one's really fun, by the way. Do not go anywhere. And coming up right after this break, we're going to dig into the history of the holiday that's coming up, Labor Day, how it started, how it's progressed, and what it means now.
All that fun and so much more is coming your way on CoastLife.